legendary rocker Alain Johannes found himself far away from the California desert in our little town up here in Beechworth. That's right, Alain Johannes, them Crooked Vultures, Queens of the Stone Age, PJ Harvey, everyone, including his own band 11 and his own solo work. The guy is a legend. We couldn't believe our luck when we picked up the phone, promised him all sorts of unmentionable things, and got him to come up and play a gig here in Beechworth. He followed up with a morning after session at the Old Stone Hall. Then we caught up for a fireside chat. Without further ado, Alain Johannes.
Hello everyone, my name is Alain Johannes, and we're going to play some tunes on this year's Sick Fiddle. Darkness means something to me, reaching for what can be seen. Oh, it's a trick from within to feel your way into being. Not on this earth, oh, not here. The shop comes so close, yet and the words lost in prose. There's nothing left but the scars, and in the way, death of course. What were we thinking, my dear? Not on this earth, oh, not here. What were we thinking, my dear? Not on this earth, oh, not here. Not on this earth, oh, not here.
Well, thanks a lot, Alain, for coming and playing with us here in Beechworth.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And the hall was incredible. It sounded amazing.
Thank you.
I think that space, did you enjoy playing in that space?
Yes, spaces can be really conducive to, coupling into the interpretation and the vibe of how you play, and you play into the hall, into the room. And I love when that happens, Sometimes stages are kind of dry and kind of vibeless, and sometimes you're in a space where you kind of, you hear it as if you're also in the audience, which I love,
Yeah. And you felt you get a bit of that?
Yeah, the beautiful sounding room decay, the whole place,
Yeah.
Very open. And it's also really nice to have your voice naturally, everything kind of blending. You blend yourself with yourself,
Yeah.
As opposed to like monitors in the it's close mic'd or whatever.
Which you know about from obviously a lot of production, there's stuff to it.
Yeah.
And this is your first solo tour in Australia?
It is, yeah.
Yep.
And actually, a lot of places this year has been the first time I've toured solo. I've done a few little one-offs here and there. And when Spark came out, Josh invited me to open for Queens for quite a few shows.
Yep.
And then Chris Cornell and I did a few shows where I would open up too.
Yep.
And join them on stage. But, it's amazing because Anthony from Your Late Bookings, he made this amazing plan to just bring me out, and and it's been going amazingly well.
Yeah.
I've been having a great time.
Yeah, it's such a pleasure to know that you're here. It's just, I think everyone's so excited, and particularly coming here to a place like Beechworth, when it's amazing.
Those called Not on This Earth. next one's called Eyes to the Sky. Eyes up to the sky, shades of gray, covering up an infinite display, while it's spinning out and yet so still. Oh, our freedom tempered by our will, be the motion of becoming. Dance a deadly dance while time is running. I'm into love's embrace. See the breeze caressing where you end, only to begin again and then. A deeper sense awaken when I stop. Tried so hard to do what it's now. Oh, the motion of becoming. Dance a deadly dance while time is running. You know, I'm due for another solo record.
Yeah.
And maybe a record with my trio in Chile. You know, we did a single called Luna Sol with Mike Pattinson guesting.
Yep.
And so I think this, you know, I had a little bit of a health scare at the end of last year, and so I decided to just push and go out into the world, and because there's a certain kind of when you stay put, you know, and you're just doing, like, it doesn't feel like real life. You know, just kind of almost like you're slowing down. But if you go out on the road and just tour for months and months, and then I've been producing in between, kind of things have worked out, you know. So I travel all the time. I go here and there and everywhere. It has a very, as a feeling of purpose, you know, and especially with my solo stuff, a lot of it, you know, my album for Natasha, and honoring a lot of the legacy of the Chris Cornell, Mark Lanigan, Queens, all the stuff that I've been a part of. It gives me, you know, real energy to push and keep going, you know. So this year's been really great. It's by far my most active year in terms of playing, you know.
That's amazing.
Even with Queens, I didn't play so much, you know.
Yeah.
We toured for Lullabies, but this is I've been nonstop since late March, you know.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you have, when you record, do you have songs all written, or is there stuff that comes?
I'm a weird animal like that. I've been relying on sheer fearless trust and that songs will show up.
I think it's worked.
Yeah, it's worked. I mean, Hum I did in 12 days, written and recorded.
Yeah.
Spark was 4 days. Fragments and Holes was 14 days.
Yep.
And sometimes I have things like Fragments. The whole idea of the record was I had little improvisations on my Instagram that I kept the track of, and they were all like little seedlings of songs, you know.
Yeah.
And all I had to do is finish them, you know.
Yeah.
And Hum, I kind of like literally pictured the album unfolding, and it was already in my mind. It already was finished somewhere beyond space time, and all I had to do was listen for it, you know.
Yeah.
So I had the very first song, Mermaid Scream, but I had the chord changes from a Portuguese guitar that I just learned how to play, and I just wrote the lyric and finished that whole track. And that night I listened to it, the mix, you know, I mixed it the first day, and listened to it, and just the silence afterwards, like, what is the next song on the record, you know? And that's how Hum came to be.
Amazing.
And you know, and everything was in sequence.
Yep.
Like my job was, and thankfully I had Mark Lanigan like on the other line, like, you know, meaning like I would send him little snippets, and because it's hard for me to work in a total totally alone, and it would have been Natasha there, and she's kind of inside my mind, or Chris too, kind of ready to answer my query, you know, in some kind of abstracted version, and in my creative process. But Lanigan was actually there. Said, "Oh, that's really cool. Try, you know, what about this?" And you know, it was great.
Let's say it.
You know, yeah. Anyway, so I know it's time to make a record, and I think it's going to be Fragments and Halls Volume 2. At least that's a nice, purposeful idea of it, because you know that there was more realized and fully realized songs on the first volume, and little bits. You know, so it has a kind of a journey kind of feeling of like. A little kind of example of process, you know, like unfinished, not unfinished feeling, but just more raw, and then some things that are more like I played drums on it, I played, you know, different instruments. So I think definitely have enough little seedlings from before to start that record. Yeah, I have to play something from my album Spark. This is called Return to You. It's got far away. I give a love, whoever she can find its way to the sun while having fun. I give a love, all the emptiness is felt at a buzz, releasing the cause for better or worse. Oh yeah. Forget this is real. Forget this is real. Took me away into that place I lost, but I will return. Yeah, I will return to you. Impossible becomes what you do, becomes what you do. I give love, you can find yourself inside someone else and see who you are. I give love, all the emptiness is felt at buzz, releasing the curse for better or worse. Oh yeah. Forget this is real. Forget this is real. Took me away into that place that I lost, but I will return. Yeah, I will return to you. To you.
And we were just talking earlier before, obviously when you recorded Chris Cornell's Euphoria Morning and played and everything, that gave an opportunity to get a lot of gear. Is that recording gear?
Yeah, actually before that, what happened is, it was really cool. So when Soundgarden took that long break, breakup sort, you know, but obviously they came back together. Chris stayed with us to decompress for a while, and in our house in LA, and we had a little gear, you know, with a nice little 8-track setup with how we did Sun Shower. Ave Maria with an 8-track, a Tascam 388. We also had a Roland 1680, whatever those were. I think it was 1680. You know, the 16-channel digital. You know, but he invited Alcafara, the president of A&M, over to the house to listen to our songs. You know, we had a few demos on it, and Al loved it and said they offered us a record deal. And the record deal was kind of, at the time, was kind of like a smaller medium with 200,000. This day and age would be like, whoa, you know, $200,000. And we were so ballsy that we actually went to meet, we had called for a meeting with him. And we went into to his office and asked him for that money to buy a studio with. And he just listened to us like his eyes were going like this, and we're like, no, because see, hear us out. So we could hire a producer, an engineer, and a studio. But now, if we had the gear, and we have experience, we've done this before, we could just make record after record, and we have all this gear. Because they would rather rent you something, than buy it for you, just psychologically, And so he goes, "That's crazy. It's never been done. I love it. Let's do it." Next thing you know, like 2 days later, I'm at West LA Music, like picking out, gear.
Yeah.
And then it got delivered like 2 days after that. I literally unpacked the boxes, and then the next day I didn't put everything in place perfectly, but we were wired up and ready to record. And we did our album Avant-Garde Dog, which is the fourth 11 album, but it came out after Euphoria Morning.
Yeah.
Because they asked us to wait until after Euphoria Morning to release it so we could concentrate on Chris.
Yeah.
And the thing. And then by then A&M folded and disappeared, and it was a disaster, but whatever. So we made Avant-Garde Dog and then Euphoria Morning with that gear. And then, of course, Eagles of Death Metal, first 2 records, no doubt. Queens, the next 11, just 80 albums in all.
Amazing.
In this house, like from the 20s.
That's incredible.
That was an incredible. We didn't know that we rented. It was very expensive rent.
Yeah.
But it just had all these recording environments. It had the huge hallway like this, living room, for a big drum sound. The glass and tile room is like tile, and then mirrors, and then all these. Thankfully, there was no standing waves because it was all different angles.
Yeah.
And that's an Eagles of Death Metal, like really aggressive drum sound.
Yeah.
And then there was our bedroom, like there was a gay couple that lived there in the 70s, big time parties all the time.
Yep.
So it was like literally mirrors on the walls and ceiling.
Yeah.
So imagine when we first moved in there was a big fuck off earthquake, the Northridge earthquake,
Oh, yeah.
In a glass room in the middle of an earthquake. Anyway, everything was fun.
Yeah.
But so there was so many environments, a cedar closet where we put the bass amp, that it was just a perfect place to record.
Yeah.
It's like Rancho. It's like the Rancho of LA,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so we ended up, that was all because of Chris, making that happen.
That's amazing. And I guess going from that to what we were talking about earlier about the being able to travel around now you've got your everything you need in a little suitcase.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a huge storage unit where it has my hundreds of exotic instruments, things I've been collecting since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And that's the hard part, is not being able to, because I used to, my day would be get up in the morning, tune everything, which took about 3 hours. In the night, like the sitar and the sarod and the harpsichord.
The temperature.
You're like,
horrifying.
All the tension pegs and whatever. I just miss being able to like play my sarangi and because I'm always wanting to learn, so I haven't had like even like in Chile, like I've been renting there, and I had to populate my little room with stuff, so I bought like a really inexpensive saxophone, alto, and a trumpet and whatever, just to be able to like it's almost like I'm on purpose trying to annoy the neighbors or something. But like
that's amazing. And obviously you've got a huge collection of instruments, and when you come on tour by yourself, can you bring much? Have you brought much?
Well, I mean, I took my jazz master on a tour with Masters of Reality, and I have my original cigar box.
Yeah.
But no, like Maton loaned me a 6 and a 12 for this tour.
Yeah, cool.
And so I can't really bring much because it's like traveling.
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking a huge chance. My jazz master got lost 3 times. I mean, it was found.
Yeah.
But it's almost like British Airways like decided to like scare me for 3 days.
Yeah.
It was exactly 3 days missing.
Evil plan.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
Yeah, I mean, I was crazy. Like guitar is so special and unique that but you can't. Like Brian May puts his red special next to him. You can afford it.
Yeah, and that's the guitar you play with Crooked Vultures.
Yeah, and what is this in the 80s?
Yeah.
It's a 62, just like me.
Yeah.
And I bought it in 82 for $350.
Yep.
And I put the Duncan 59s that just come out, in it, and it's a really special guitar.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just think, obviously, I've got some guitars I've made, but that probably sort of feeds your addiction to play new instruments a little bit
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and find the voice. And
yeah, because when I was in Queens, on tour with Queens, and we played Melbourne, went to the factory.
Yeah.
And Anthony gave me a 12.
Yeah.
Well, Josh said, give him a 12. And he gave
And he did it.
He gifted, he did it. And that's the one I used on Make Our Jellos and a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
I love, and I had a 60s electric, mate, one of those that looks like a 335.
Yep.
And I had a photo of it, and Anthony was trying to talk me into giving it to them for their display because it was a rare one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And obviously you've collaborated with everyone.
Yeah.
Is anyone left in the world that you want to collaborate with?
I wanted to collaborate with Bowie, but I missed out on that one. I love, obviously I love Johnny Greenwood and Tom York, but I think they got it taken care of. It's not need for me.
I think they still need a bit.
Yeah, but they're wonderful. No, I'm constantly in a sense collaborating because when I produce, I kind of become like an extra member,
Yeah.
So it's always fun for me. And I invariably end up playing a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
I get asked to,
Yeah.
I don't want to impose or anything like that, but
Yeah.
I do often say like, I got this, I hear something, check this out, But that's the fun part for me. I love being, I love having the feeling of family and relation, and I like the feeling of like all of us pushing towards something.
Yeah.
And that feeling of like the negative part of ego, kind of, the being told to sit down, and the purpose is to make something great and timeless.
Yeah.
And very often that involves it might not be, this is not about you anymore, it's about the song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you think, I'm going to get a sense, obviously dealing with you and leading up to the tour, and very laid back and a great person to deal with, and do you think, obviously being an incredible musician has helped you, but just is the attitude a big part of what makes a collaboration work?
I think it does. I think I've been because of that I have like this joy and collaboration of that feeling of family. Obviously I grew up with a pretty amazing, talented family, and because we traveled so much, or I was traveled by my family in several countries and learning new languages and cultures. It gave me access to different kinds of music, and my family had a lot of bohemian friends, so I would be given like a flamenco guitar, like a Paco de Lucia vinyl when I was 8, and like hear Stravinsky and like, and like my first Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. I was already a Beatles head since I was, a kid, because I was, it was a lot of that playing in around the house, and I would ask my mom for the vinyl, collecting 45s, and it kind of like musically made me very fluid, and I fell in love with Indian classical music and jazz and all stuff, So I started to see kind of a common, like a universal aspect to everything, including relationships and just this feeling of like the purpose in what we're doing,
Yeah.
So sometimes being around like hardcore personalities, like especially creative people, can be a bit of narcissism, a bit of whatever, which very often can serve the whole thing.
Yeah.
But to be adaptable to that and let things flow, it has helped. I mean, obviously I know when to kind of have a stronger, put my foot down. But I think my relationship with Josh and Mark and a bunch of my amazing friends and artistic relationships, that plus is how down I am to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like I'll do I'll there's no end to how far I'll go to make sure it works well. It flows.
And that sort of feeds back into everyone else and everyone. Yeah.
I mean, if I have to like not sleep for whatever it is,
Yeah.
Because I earn the prizes. Like I want to be part of something timeless and classic.
I think you've done that.
I mean,
a couple of times.
I mean, it doesn't always work exactly like that, and there's no absolutes there. It's all opinion,
Yeah.
But at least I feel good about everything. I've had a couple of funny moments where I couldn't I couldn't succeed in what I was hoping to help with because there was a lot of self-sabotage a couple of times.
Yep.
Like it was impossible. The energy for self-sabotage was so strong, there's nothing could be done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And also learned from that too, you know. But I've been really lucky that it's strange because imagine I moved to the States, I meet Hillel and Jack, then I meet Natasha, then we started our whole career, then the guys in Soundgarden, you know, and then Josh, and through the other sessions I meet Mark Lanigan and I meet PJ Harvey, and then all this keeps kind of connecting and expanding. You know?
Very organic. And,
organic. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's almost like I remember hearing these artists for the first time. If I look back on it and I'm really honest with myself, I kind of knew that I was going to meet them, and I kind of knew we were going to work together.
Yeah.
There was a certain quality to that connection, you know.
Just we're drawn together. And
Yeah.
That's incredible. And this one, just a question just for me, but is there another Crooked Vultures album ever going to happen?
I really hope so. I mean, I would.
And are you playing on it?
Yeah,
You should play on it.
Yeah, I'd love to play. I'd love to play more. I mean, I recorded a bunch of stuff on the first one. I actually engineered it.
Yeah.
Like Reptiles and a few other things. And the process of creating the overdubs and the sounds, it was just me and Josh, and I was there for him as supportive. So that credit doesn't exist.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It can't say co-producer. It can't say, and it just says engineer out. You know. But that's just something that him and I have. You know.
Yeah.
Like I was there to help him in that process of, you know, creating the his part in the sound, which is like had to be different than Queen's and its own world. You know, he did incredible.
Yeah.
And then obviously it's a little frustrating to be like, you know, oh, the three-piece is so amazing. And like, I just every single show that ever happened, I was there.
Yeah.
And I was singing in front. They left the stage and left me playing guitar solo. Like almost like, who is that guy? You know?
I saw you in Melbourne, and you know, it was funny because I always remember, and I've told so many people, it's like, if you've got John Paul Jones, you want to look at him, obviously, because it's John Paul Jones. Yeah. Then Dave Grohl's going fucking nuts.
Sucks. So running incredibly.
Yeah, then you've got Josh as well. You're like, okay. But then you're there and you're playing this phenomenal guitar stuff, and it's like, so it's like, you think it'd be easier, maybe one of these three, and you just throw another thing in.
Especially because we kept growing and growing and growing, and towards the end, it was those were the Melbourne show, the Australia tour, and Japan was towards the end. You know? And we really started to get really connected in terms of the improvisation, extending songs forever.
Yeah, little jammy. To
like you know, 2 hour sets that were 7 songs. You know, So, it was an incredible feeling, and I had the pleasure of, like, you know, Josh and Dave would go to the back of the bus and go lay down, and JPJ was ready to go after the show.
Yeah,
brought out his mandolin and like said, "Al, did you mind grabbing a cigar box?" You know. I was gonna be like, it's gonna be on 3 hours of jamming. You know?
Yeah, amazing.
Or he would have, you know, he said, "Al, there's a musical instrument museum. Let's go." You know. Let's meet me at the lobby in half an hour. Very. Or like Bella Fleck, you know, his wife is having a old time bluegrass jam at the house. Let's go. You know, I mean, just insane.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still just that sort of.
Oh yeah, always. Oh, he doesn't stop. He loves it.
That's incredible.
He goes to bluegrass camp with his daughters, and he's ever playing all the time. Let's play one more from Spark. This one's called Gentle Ghost. are dancing and playing, so joyfully loving. Just in the edge of my hearing, they are so sweetly saying the things that will hear me. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost, gentle ghost, gentle ghost. Solving the riddles and posting aside. Just in the edge of my vision, they are dancing and playing, so joyfully loving. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost. Just in the edge of this life, gentle ghost, gentle ghost, gentle ghost. To get back to that another album, we had a dinner hang in 2018, you know, with all the management about the possibility, but it has a lot to do with like cycles, you know, and how it oscillates and where Josh is at and Dave is at, you know.
Yeah.
It was really amazing to get to play for Taylor for the tribute at Wembley, and to get back together. Obviously, it was like a really intense and unfortunate reason to get together.
Yeah.
But there was a certain, 12 years had passed, and we got on stage, and it felt really nice, you know.
That's amazing, 12 years. Yeah. No, it's an incredible band.
It's just, I mean, I hope that there will be.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, if they do, we can bring them to Beechworth.
Yes.
We'll do a little show here in Townsville.
That'd be great. Amazing.
That character that you interviewed, you and Natasha.
Yes, Guy's a killer.
Yeah, the interviewed Soundgarden for the EPK, and it was like
so much shit for that. People thought it was real.
I know that because I think I might have seen it once originally, and I think I did. Yeah. Before I really could connect.
It was just too good. We were so. Here's the setup. So what happened is Henry, Ben Shepherd's brother, is a filmmaker, right?
Yeah.
And he called Natasha and I. He goes, I'm going to send you a video cassette of a TV show with this dude that's a classical cellist that's interviewing Pink Floyd. And it's basically that vibe. You know?
Yeah.
And he goes, now I'm going to, fly up here next week. I'm doing a video for Pretty News. And they think we're doing an interview segment with some journalists from Europe.
Yeah.
But obviously we're already friends.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell them it's you. So you guys, think of how to prepare this whole interview,
Yeah.
So we're in the other room, like a closed room, like ready to go. And so Henry goes, hey guys, come on, we're going to go in here and and the cameras were already rolling. And so they saw us and understood that the gag was on, and they couldn't say, hey, good to see you guys, or like whatever. And we had to, and as you can tell, that the discomfort that they had, because it was so many layers. It was like, yes, this is our friends, and this is going to be really funny, but then also they're trying to, double overthink or whatever. And it came off really quite realistic.
Yeah. I love it.
And so
it's amazing.
The worst Bond villain accent ever.
Well, actually, I was going to say, surely there's more space for your acting work. I think that character particularly. I think.
Yeah, well, it was my idea at the end to say, well, well, you couldn't do this, and I said, well, I could, provided it was written down beforehand, like meaning the improvisation. And then at the end, I thought, wouldn't it be really funny if at the end I just go up and grab the guitar and kind of find my way? And that was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But oh my God, the amount of hate that we got. And I keep trying to explain it. Even like Vicky Cornell posted it on the Chris's Instagram. Yeah, reposted. Yeah, and tagged me. And the caption says clearly, Alan and Natasha, Soundgarden's friends. Yeah. Parody of a Kaiser Keller seller interview, blah blah. But still, there was just hate.
No, people just they can't understand it. It's like I see this. Well, people don't read anymore either.
When we were in Westwood in the '80s and went to see Spinal Tap, and at the time there was very little advertisement for it. Yeah. And we wound up in there and we're laughing our heads off, and several people around us are like, we're not laughing. Yeah. They're like, what kind of band is this? And what's it?
People in Beechworth still believe that Spinal Tap is real.
This is amazing.
So we'll have to cut this out. Yeah.
I don't know what else.
I think that's pretty good. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
I was really looking forward to tonight, obviously, in Beechworth. And I think it's going to be a historical moment. It already is.
Awesome. We're having an amazing time. Let's continue.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it tonight. Thanks a lot, Alain.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Hey, cheers, man. Thank you. The Morning After Sessions is produced by a bunch of local Beechworth legends. If you want to keep up to date with what we're doing, jump on Facebook and Instagram, Morning After Sessions, and make sure you hit that subscribe button on our channel here. Tune in.